little bit about our season, the varsity season, before we bring the athletes up. Prospectus for the year. Beginning of the year, we lost 7 seniors to graduation from the previous team. Very athletic class. Sure, we had Royce Newman back, we had Brady Bolton back, Nate Bromkis that played a lot in size, athleticism, and in leadership. Those guys are playing, all 7 of those are playing collegiate level. Right now, so touch with athleticism. We had Dylan Mueller start for KC. Daniel Dorsey's playing baseball on McHenry. Troy Benton's playing basketball on McHenry. Hunter Cooper and Nick Wolf are playing football at SIU Carbondale. And let's see, Anthony Harper's playing golf at Blackburn. That's pretty impressive. All 7 of those seniors went on to play at the next level. So we did lose quite a bit. We still got a good nucleus coming back. Obviously, we're not nearly as big. We're obviously very big down low, and Royce and Rogan, but we're smaller the rest of the way around. On top of it all, our football team, which we had, I believe, 5 members on the football team, had just a phenomenal year. Make it to the semifinal round. And 2 of our starters were main components of that team. Actually, and then all of them were. Actually, all 5 of them contributed pretty good. So, the issue there was, those are really good problems to have. We had 3 days of practice before the 11th tournament. So, obviously we're in basketball shape and got off to a little bit of a slow start, but again, all good problems. On top of that, what kind of compounds the issue is our schedule. I've talked to the coaches many times. Our schedule was probably, I don't think there was a tougher 2A schedule in this state. When you consider who all we played and the success they had, and 2 people that weren't typically this strong in their banner year this year. So we were going up against quite a group of good teams. I did go for the figure today very quickly, so I'm not going to tell you this. Maybe off 1 or 2, but. We played 17 teams were 20-game winners that we played. Now, some of those we played twice, so that we're not doubling up there. 17 were 20-game winners. 17 of our games were against 20-game winners. 2 of them were against 30-game winners from Bree Central. 12 of them were regional champions. 5 of them were section champions. T-Town, Jabot, Central twice, and Pekin. What am I forgetting? St. Joe Ogden, thank you. Okay, and of course we played the 3rd place in state champion. Okay, Bree Central and St. Joe Ogden. So our schedule was awfully good. And you throw in the 3A teams. Benton had their best team in 25 years, probably. They got 3A. Columbia got bumped up in 3A and had their best. I think they won 23 or 24. Modern Day's 3A. Of course, they won 22 or 3 games also. So again, the schedule was awfully strong, which in the long run helped us out. Overall, we didn't have the greatest of team speed. That was very evident in some of our losses. And time and get over things like that. So it took us a while to get over that. Royce is our leading scorer and rebounder, missed a couple of games because of football recruiting visits. And very understandably so, especially in his situation. And we're probably lucky that he didn't miss more games due to that. Lost both those games, played well, but lost both those games. And again, that probably helped us a little bit in the long run. Some people had to step up. So we had adversity, which every team has. Every good team finds a way to get through it, and I really felt that we did. Another perfect example is one day, less than 3 weeks, we go down to Peeknville and get drilled by 25, and 3 weeks later, we beat them by 2 close game on their court in the section. So again, that's a pretty impressive turnaround. Of course, we obviously been prepared and had a little chip on our shoulder, but again, very proud. I thought we played our best basketball at the end of the year. A note about the overall accomplishments of the program. This marks the 30th year that we've had winning record 30 consecutive winning seasons here, actually. That's really, really impressive. And I almost hate saying that because we'll put more heat on that following year and year, and our schedule's not getting any easier. But again, that's 30 consecutive years. There's no other school south of Route 50 that can say that. So that's pretty impressive. And Darren started that, Coach Lee started recording that. I didn't even realize it was on the website. I saw his booklets that said what it was before we took it. Ribbon River, conference co-champs in Penyville, 9-1 record. We won it the last 4 years. Conference has gotten tougher. Carterville's added to the mix. Instead of it being a 2-horse race, the last few years it's become a 3 and sometimes 3.5 team race. And we put pretty high value on that conference title. And I think the players can tell you, just about every practice or every other practice, we point up to the banner. You want your year up there on that banner, on that River Conference title. And we do that because there's a lot of tradition here. This marked our 15th conference title. We've either won or shared it 15 times out of the 23 years that it's existed. And again, that's awfully good. And since, I never brought this up, the former Hornets always bring up the Penyville record. Okay? Well, I never had before, but I will. Our conference, our Penyville record over the last 4 years, these guys, somebody has the league, is 10-1. Is that right, Royce?
Yeah.
3 your freshman year, let's see.
Yeah.
3 your sophomore year, 2 junior, and then we were 2-1 this year, I believe. So that's, again, and they won what, 25, 26 games this year? Again, those are awfully good. Won the regional, had to be a good Greenville team twice on their floor. Again, not that, regionals around here are awfully tough. I was next door for a long time. That Washington Clinton County Regional was fair, and it still is. And last year, it was almost criminal that we went that way. The 2 best teams played in the regional championship game. This year they did get it right, and instead of us in Central being a regional championship game, it was a sectional championship game. But again, regional championship, pretty impressive. Got the sectional championship game, Sweet 16. So a lot of good things that happened with this team, especially second half of the year, especially going through what we did at times. We had some injuries in there. We had some kids that not only missed games for, we just missed a couple there, but we also missed a couple less. Jairus got really sick. Missed a week of practice, lost, I don't know, like 10, 15 pounds. 12, okay, I know it's in the ballpark, and had some of that. But again, an awfully good year. Really proud at the end, and especially the first we had to deal with. Lost some close games, games that we felt like we could have won, should have won, one of those deals, and still fought through. But I think that the level of competition that we played was much better, and down the road paid off. At this time, I want to bring up the sophomores one at a time. Actually, I want to bring them all 3 up together. Our sophomores that dressed varsity this year were Cameron Parker, Brandon Schnicker, and Jim. And Cameron, awfully good skills. We want him to go to the weight room this summer. Brandon Schnicker, the Energizer Bunny. Really, if you had the pleasure of watching him play, the sophomore level especially, he was a one-man press and fast break at times. And there were times when he actually beat people down the floor with the dribble. And really plays hard. Jake Haley, another high-energy guy, actually played some on the varsity, played at the sophomore JV and varsity level. Missed out on the sophomore Murphy tournament, which adds to what Patrick said. We didn't even have all our sophomores in there. Again, Jake's got excellent athletic skills, and both those last couple of guys are some of our very best athletes as far as sheer athleticism. And we're really looking forward to them being strong contributors the next couple of years. Juniors, we've got Trevor Meyer, Ethan Reed, Drew Marchesky, and Brandon Briles. U4. Trevor is a 5'9" point guard, 3-sport athlete, plays golf, basketball, and baseball. Ethan Reed, 6-foot guard forward, plays really good defensive back, and track and basketball. Drew Barczewski, football, track, and basketball. Those three, and Langdon Brown, 6'3", forward. Langdon's got a really good skills player. That's another one we're going to give a key to the weight room this summer. Get him. He's got very good skills. But these four juniors right here didn't see a lot of varsity playing time, but they did a tremendous job. They're invaluable to us as far as having the quality to go against, the quickness to go against. And even when they had to run the scout team, they were very good, very patient as far as learning a different offensive set or whatever on many occasions. Now our next juniors were in the varsity rotation and played a lot for us. Ryan Brink, 6'1" guard, averaged 8.6 points a game. He led our team with 54 three-pointers. He shot 47.4% from the arc, which is extremely good. And hopefully he can find a way to increase that free throw percentage a little bit higher than that. But he really helped us open things up inside. When you've got someone like Royce Newman down, every game we went into, there was going to be, you were going to have some kind of defensive strategy. Were they going to double Royce? Were they going to try to pressure the perimeter? What are they going to do and try to compensate? And if they left him open, he could really shoot. And really improved his post-entry passes as the season progressed, and had some big games. I know he had 3 threes, I believe, against Greenville in the regional championship game. Really looking for him to contribute heavily again next year. Another junior, Brogan Kent, center. We feel like Brogan is our most improved player. Averaged 6 points a game, 3.8 rebounds a game. He gave us the luxury of playing 2 bigs when we could, when the lineup was, we were going against teams where we couldn't play the 2 bigs. He was either a great compliment to Royce. He was our best high-low passer. He got the ball to Royce better because he used his height and got it over, did a really good job there. When Royce was going against Modernity, he had a big game, had 17 points, battled till, I think, you found out at the end. He fell out at the end. That's probably a good bet.
Probably.
I can't remember, but I know he played all the offense all the time. It was some really good games. He had one of our, probably without a doubt, our most improved player. We had several that proved that he came the furthest. And of course, next year he will be our big guy. And there's other, I mean, people talk about big guys, they're all big. We're talking basketball, you're talking, we're not going to have anybody else who are 6'5", 6'6", unless somebody moves Tanner grows quite a bit, or one of those things, which we certainly hope so happens. So that Brogan Kent. Hayden Hagemeyer, 5'11" guard. Hayden's, this is his 3rd year on the varsity team. He was on team as a freshman. 6.8 points a game, 3.9 rebounds a game. That's good for 2nd on the team. Now, Brogan was right there at 3.8, and Brady was at 3.8, but at 5'11", you don't have to be a great big guy or a super leaper. A lot of that has to do with just hustle. That's pretty impressive. 1.3 assists per game. He led us in steals with 42. A 1.1 assist to turnover ratio, which was 2nd on the team to Brady, which was 1.2. Our most efficient player. We have a stat that doesn't, on our stats, Coach Patrick Weathersky used to call our pluses and minuses. And all our players will tell you, they've heard many times from me and a lot of times from these guys, that we want, you want to really make sure that you have more pluses than minuses. More assets than what? Liabilities, right? Okay, so you can make the big play, but if you turn it over and foul 3 times and kick it in the stands here, you're not an asset to the team. So there's several things that go into this, and help me out, Coach Weathers. Some of the pluses on here would be assist, steals, offensive rebounds. Forced turnovers. Okay, of course the negative things are pretty obvious. Turnovers, blown bunnies. Okay, well, I'm getting started. Yeah, mental mistakes. Okay. Well, the point is, this doesn't come out on in the box score, but Hayden was our most efficient player with 184 pluses and 82 minuses. Brady was pretty close behind him. But again, most efficient player, things don't show up in the score box. Been a big part of our program last 3 years on some very good state-ranked teams that came off the bench his freshman, sophomore year. Really unselfish when you're looking for him to be much more assertive next year and even let him play a bigger role. That's Hayden Hagemeyer. Seniors, Ryan Kell, 6'1" guard, three-sport athlete, big cross-country track guy, very good shooter. He was our designated star on the scout team. He was always the opponent's best player, and he could really light it up at times. He really helped us focus when we're running against the scout team as far as if you had to get him getting open looks, because I think he thrived on that, because boy, I'd be a little upset, never failed, he'd still drain one. But again, really helped us in practice. End of the year, of all things, we had him entered in the three-point contest, and the day or two before senior night, that's the last regular season game, he has an appendicitis attack and has his appendix removed. So we think he's not going to be able to do it, but amazingly, he participated on the following Friday, so that was about, 8 days off from surgery. Yeah, and he shot. Well, he didn't do as well as he normally would have, but still it was pretty impressive that he was able to come back and do that. But again, what are you going to do next year? You know yet? Okay, all right. All right, good. Yeah, Ryan really helped us. Next senior, Riley Edwards, a 6'1" guard forward. Okay, strong defender, gave us depth in the guard forward spot. Had a setback right before the modern day tournament. When I say right before, I'm talking about hours. We had a walkthrough going on, and he was literally sliding sideways at half speed and rolled his ankle good. He missed the entire tournament. So that was tough. But like Riley really played a valuable role for us, whether it was in practice games, a lot of things that don't show up. A really strong golfer that made it to state with the golf team this year. It's something, I forgot to mention it. Coach Guest took the team state again. But Riley's going to continue to play golf at Red Lake next year, so congratulations, Riley. Harris Dahlman, 5'10" forward, guard, hybrid, whatever they call those anymore. A really strong three-sport standout here at NCHS. Jarris was our defensive stopper. He always guarded the opponent's best player. And we saw a lot of them this year. The Cormans, the Trimbles, Trimble that dropped 44 on Central in the state tournament. A Holden kid from Greenville, Swalls from Carterville, Pullman from modern day Frederick from Oakville. Hell, he ate that first game. He didn't like it either. But really, great job defensively, extremely hard worker and competitive. That best thing to say, he's a heck of a competitor. And although he wasn't a great scorer, he was one of those kids you could hardly take off the floor. He's going to get that loose ball or whatever, and of course, he was the one. He made the nice pass over the top there, that high-low pass at Pinckneyville that Morris caught and stuck in for the dagger. Brady Boltman. Brady, 6'3" point guard. 11.5 points per game, our second leading scorer. He led us in assists at 2.3 a game. He, again, was right behind Hayden he was tied with Brogan with 3.8 rebounds per game. The plus and minus chart, he was 213 plus, 107 minus, which was a very close second. He led us in the assist to turnover ratio. He was our free throw percentage leader at 77.8. Been a big part of our teams the last 3 years, and these were state-ranked teams. These were very good teams. Sophomore year came off the bench. He started the last 2 years. In that period of time, we've had 3 conference titles, 2 regionals, a couple of Sweet 16s appearances, and a super championship and a state runner-up. very, very good basketball IQ, got a lot of himself physically, and he got recognized for that by making the All-Conference team this year and the All-South team. So that's Brady Bowman. And our last senior, Royce Newman. Well, what do you say about Royce? Obviously people know who he is and have for some time. The first time I remember him playing at the high school, it was his end of his 8th grade year. We were down in the old gym, and the baseball was over. We had a little impromptu open gym, and he came out and played with the varsity guys. And I remember one of the guys who were going to be a senior, after we played just a little bit, he goes, "I think he's going to be able to help us, coach." I said, "I think you're right." When you get a freshman that steps in and plays at that time, they either got to be, if they're very skilled, sometimes they're not strong enough, and if they're strong enough, they're not skilled enough. Royce was both. And I'm not going to sit here and go over all the things. I know I can make, if I can go back over Huddle, I can make a highlight video, training video of footwork for big kids, as far as the up and under moves, jump hook right and left. Great touch for the basketball. And here's just here's some of his highlights. What we turned in here on some of the nominations for all-state teams. He averaged 16.3 points per game. 7.1 rebounds this year, so he's our leading scorer and rebounder. And actually, he had 1.3 assists per game. Extremely good passer from the post. And he probably could have averaged more points a game, but he gave it up and made our teams better over the last 4 years because he hit people so well that were doubling, and he read it very well. 1,702 career points. Is that right? You know what? No, I take it back. I turned this in before the last 2 games. I take it back. It's like 1756, I believe, is what that should be. I think I apologize. Second all-time leading scorer here at Nashville High School. 4-year starter. He was our leading scorer each year. He was first team All-State IBCA this year. He was second team last year as a junior. He was fourth team as a sophomore. Associated Press, he was a second team Class A the last 2 years. Now that's the top 10 2A players in the state on the AP. That's only 10 kids. And the first 5 are first team, the second 5 are the second team. So he was in the top 10 in both those years. Multiple, he's made all Southern Illinois all 4 years, all Metro East, Belleville News Democrat all 4 years, all Southern Illinois River Conference all 4 years, multiple alternating team awards, team records, freshman year 24-8, sophomore year 27-8, junior year 26-4, senior year 21-11. That's a pretty good run right there. And there's, I believe there's 3 regional championships in there. Sweet 16s, 4 conference titles. Well, here I've got it written down. I'll read it off. 4 conference titles, 3 regionals, 3 Sweet 16s, 1 sectional, 1 super, 1 state runner-up. Very dominant player who was one of the very, very best athletes that ever gone through the halls here. He was when he signed on with Ole Miss, he was a 4-star offensive line football recruit. And here's the thing, if he hadn't gone football, he could have signed basketball. Now, maybe not quite at that level, but it would have been Division II or low mid-level 1, Division I mid-level, because he was being recruited in that also. But his coaches show that it's not just size and strength, but it's also skill. And, I've always said this, that he would have been an all-conference post player if he was 6'3" and 185 pounds, just because of the skill. And probably one of the best kind of funny compliment I heard an opposing coach talking about. He was talking on a Saturday morning sports show down south, one of our rival schools, and they were talking about teams, who's back, who graduated, and all that. And I was listening to it, and he brought up Royce Newman's name. He said, "Hey," he said, "I know all these coaches are going to be sending him to graduation." card and maybe hosted the party. So, you know, great career here at Nashville High School. Wish him the best at Ole Miss. That's Royce Newman. Now we got some while they're up here. We've got some senior awards. Right now we got some senior pictures we want to pass out to the seniors. Also want to mention, hey, varsity players, make sure you take your sign home with you. Okay, you get new ones for the following year. We also got where's Keisha at? Teachers, of course, are getting got your conferences on there. Sweet 16 regional champs, conference, coach answer record 21-11. On the back, we've got all the conference years. We've won the conference as well as the 30 consecutive winning seasons. So, that's nice teachers. We've also got this scrapbook that's got our records in it. No, with a special one. You got 2 Hornet Awards this year. They go to Ryan Kell and Riley Edwards. These guys helped us more than they'll know and more than most people know, and we wouldn't have been as good without their contributions to the team this year, and it's kind of a pride award thing. Okay, outstanding defensive player. I don't think there's any question about that. Goes to Jared Nolan. Already mentioned this, our best free throw shooter was Brady Boltman, and our assist leader, free throws were 77.8. And our leading scorer and rebounder and this year's MVP, Royce Newman. And these are all conference awards. Royce Newman, all conference for the 4th year in a row. And Brady Bolton, all conference, all SIRR. All Southern Illinois from the Southern Illinois Coaches Association, Brady Bolton.